In the previous lecture, you have learned about the bullfight. In this lecture, you are going to learn about the bear fight. Have a proper focus and have proper knowledge about it, because this is going to help you a lot for placing your trade at right position. Remember this point. I am going to show you all these points on the live chart also. Right now it might feel that it's not important, but it's very important while you are placing your trade, and it's very important if you are not having any analysis of candlestick patterns. So have proper focus on this, because this is going to provide you proper entry position. What happened, you know the breakout has happened, but you don't know exactly where to place your trade and how to place your trade, at which candlestick you have to place the trade. So now here what we are going to have, again the breakout line. So this is our breakout line. For this breakout line, what we are going to have is that there is an entry of sellers. Now at this candlestick you can clearly see that there is a strong presence of sellers. Now if you are going to plot like this wick here, still also here you can clearly see there is strong presence of seller. But if you have to look properly, then from here to here there is presence of sellers, and this lower wick represents the presence of buyer. Here still bears are winning. But still what we have to do, we have to wait for the second candlestick. Second candlestick is going to form again the bearish candlestick. Then we are going to place our trade. So at this candlestick we are going to place our trade, and the conditions for this candlestick is that this candlestick body should get close below this candlestick low. This is very important. This bearish candlestick body should get closed below the previous candlestick low. Then only we are going to place our trade at this point. The second pattern what we are going to look is going to be like this. In this case we are going to immediately place our trade, because it already represents that this breakout is respecting this candlestick. Means what? The buyers have tried to enter, but the sellers were so strong that from here the sellers have given the rejection and sellers have entered strongly, and it formed the bearish candlestick. But in another case, if we are going to have the bullish candlestick, then again here we have to wait for the next candlestick formation, which will be the bearish candlestick. In this case we have to wait for the next bearish candlestick. And here also the same point what we have to look, this candlestick body should get closed below the previous candlestick low. This is the low of the previous candlestick and body is getting closed at this point. So why this is very important, this bear fight and bull fight, why this is very important, now that we are going to look it out. I hope so you have got the proper idea that where we have to place our exactly our entries. In the bear fight we have cleared that you have to place your entry here, here and here. Like that for the bull fight also we have cleared to you that where we have to exactly place our trade. Now why this is very important, I am going to explain you. So imagine this is again a breakout line, and from what is going to happen from here is that there is a strong entry of buyers. There is a strong entry of buyers and we are having the rejection at top. Now it's a small rejection, we can clearly see here. Let me color it properly. Yes, now here you can clearly see this is our bullish candlestick, and at this candlestick there is a presence of buyers from here to here. Lower wick represents the presence of buyers and upper wick represents the presence of sellers. Now what I have told you for the breakout entry is that you have to wait for the second candlestick. If you are not going to wait for the second candlestick closing, then in another case what can happen is that if you are not going to wait for the proper second candlestick formation and second candlestick closing, what can happen, the candlestick can gap down from here. This was the closing of this candlestick and now this candlestick is opening here. And now what is going to happen is that there will be the entry of buyers. You might think that there is an entry of buyers and second candlestick is going to close like this. Now here you can clearly see the previous candlestick high was here, and from this high there was the entry of sellers. Now what can happen from here? You can have the analysis that the gap down was happen and it represented that there is a presence of sellers and the candlestick has closed inside the previous candlestick high and low. So in this condition what can happen is that from here the next candlestick formation can be the bearish candlestick, and from here then after again it can reverse and it can go down. That's why I am telling you again and again, wait for the proper formation of the candlestick and wait for the candlestick closing above the previous candlestick high. Now what will happen here is that if we are going to wait for the second candlestick and if second candlestick is also going to close above the previous candlestick, then it is going to represent us that it is having strong presence of buyers, that is there is a strong bullfight has happened and bulls have won this war. So immediately here you can place your entry,
and later on about the targets you are going to learn in the upcoming lectures.
one by one we are going to complete each and every topic. We are not going to rush for any topic. These topics are very important. What is happening is that you are not having the proper analysis on entry only, and whenever you are jumping in the live market trades and placing your trades, that time you are getting confused that should I go for call, should I go for put, what should I do exactly. If it's not happening, it's well and good, but if it's happening, this analysis is very important, that exactly where should I place my trade. Okay, so always remember what you have to do, how you have to do, and where you have to place your trade. Okay, if you have any doubts regarding the bullfight and bear fight, message us on Udemy as well as on merchanttradings.com. Don't have any doubts regarding this. Your entries are very important because what is decided, stop loss and entry is decided by us. Target is also decided by us. We are deciding all these 3 points: targets, entry, stop loss. But in our hand actually we are only having entry and stop loss. We can only decide the target, but achieving the target is not guaranteed 100%. It can reverse and it can do the loss as well. That's why you have to place your entry and stop loss at exact position, because entry and stop loss is in our hand, and how much profit we are going to make, means how much market is going to give to us, is not in our hand, but how much we are going to give to the market is in our hand. That's why you need to have the proper analysis for entry and stop loss. In upcoming lectures, after doing the Gann levels, we are also going to look for the stop loss, where we should exactly place our stop loss. If you have done the candlestick and the chart pattern course, in that you have learned about the entries and the stop loss as well. That entries and stop loss are also the advanced part only. So have a proper analysis. If you have any doubts, message us